Money, an essential aspect of our daily lives, extends far beyond its tangible form. It weaves through the fabric of our choices, aspirations, and well-being, influencing the very nature of our existence. However, the relationship each share with money is distinct and shaped by personal experiences, beliefs, and values. To truly navigate the financial landscape, one must embark on a journey to understand their unique relationship with money. Let's find out. Your attitude towards money. It's human nature to think that we know how the world works based on our understanding of history, but we've only experienced a tiny fraction of it. That's because some lessons have to be experienced before they can be understood. Every decision people make with money is justified by taking the information they have at the moment and plugging it into their unique mental model of how the world should work. Every financial decision a person takes makes sense to them at the moment. We all tell ourselves a story, a certain narrative about what we're doing and why we're doing it, and that story has been shaped by our own unique experiences. Very few people make financial decisions based on spreadsheets. Instead, they make decisions during meetings or while talking to friends. You arrive at your financial decisions based on your personal history, your unique worldview, ego, pride, values, and personal incentives, which are all scrambled together to form your unique narrative of how the world works around you. Getting your money. Sometimes in life, you don't need tremendous force to realize tremendous results. Small starting points can lead to results that are so extraordinary that they seem to defy logic, where you start to underestimate what's possible, where growth comes from, and what it can lead to. Compounding is the process in which an asset's earnings from either capital gains or interest are reinvested to generate even more earnings. The counterintuitive nature of compounding leads even the smartest people to overlook its power. The danger of compounding being counterintuitive is that we often ignore its potential and focus on solving problems using other means. Compounding only works if you can give your assets years and years to grow without any interruption. In other words, for compounding to work, you need to avoid interrupting it unnecessarily. That's because we evolve and change over time, and so do our predictions. We should always avoid the extreme ends of financial planning when trying to predict the future. Wealth is created by suppressing what you can buy now to have more options in the future. Compounding works best when you can give your plan years or even decades to grow. This is true for your savings, career, and relationships, where endurance is key. We should also come to terms with accepting the reality that changing our minds is inevitable. I know a lot of people who are extremely successful in their field of profession, but fail to innovate or imagine the possibilities of what could happen. Sometimes that could be attributed to them being miserable because when they were 18 years old and chose their career, this was the field they picked due to external influences that were not tethered to their purpose or their passions. All of this directly influences your way of predicting the future and your relationship with money, risk, and decisions. Protecting your money. Do people need to be convinced to save money? Ironically, yes. When it comes to saving money, people fall into one of three distinct groups: those who save, those who don't think they can save, and those who don't think they need to save. Building wealth has little to do with your income or investment returns and a lot to do with your savings rate. Past a certain level of income, what you need is just what lies below your ego. It's a constant struggle against instincts to restrain ourselves from extending our peacock feathers to their utmost limits while keeping up with others who are doing the same. Here's an interesting fact about results: they're shrouded in uncertainty. Wealth is just the accumulated leftover after you spend what you have, where the value of wealth is relative to what you need. Learning to be happy with less money creates a gap between what you have and what you want. One of the most effective ways to increase your savings isn't to raise your income, rather, it's to raise your humility. When you define savings as the gap between your ego and your income, you can begin to realize why so many people with decent levels of income save very little money. Predicting the future. When it comes to wealth and finance, being reasonable is more realistic because you have a better chance of sticking with it for the long haul, and it's what matters the most when managing money. A rational investor makes decisions based on numeric factors, whereas a reasonable investor makes decisions based on conference room discussions with people they want to admire. The interesting thing about investing is that it has a social component that is often ignored when viewed through a strictly financial lens. What's often overlooked in finance is that something can be technically true, but contextually nonsense. Things that never happened before happen all the time. Interestingly, history can be thought of as the study of surprising events, but it's often used by investors and economists as a guide to predict the future. While history can help us calibrate our expectations, study where people went wrong, and have a rough guide of what tends to work, history cannot help us map out the future. In a world where innovation and change are the backbone of progress, we can no longer place our over-reliance on past data to predict future events. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed this video, and see you soon in the next one.